Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Zoe Ellis, welcome. So basically in this reading I'm going to provide you what's going to be on. This is for June 12th to June 21st of 2025. So basically in this wonderful reading of this whole entire dialogue, it means that everything will be all peaceful and everything how it's going to be. Basically it's going to be very very interesting indeed. So you need to understand about what's going on in this whole entire situations, and you have to believe about what's going on in the whole entire situation, whether you like it or not, whether it can be based on how you're feeling. So you have to understand that it's the way it seems to be, and you have to understand that the way how it's going to be occurred, because that's how it is, right? If you want to know about how you're going to be feeling, the way how you can be knowing what to do, you have your own ways about knowing about how you can set your own goals and how it is, right? You have to believe that. So whether it needs to be very interesting on how it goes, you have to see it as it feels like it, and you need to understand about how it's going to be in that way. So you have to understand about how it is in one way or another, and you have to know about what it takes, and you have to know about how it seems to be in that way. So you have to know about what's going on in that way, and you think that okay, well, everything seems to be fine, but then you have to understand about what's going on, right? So you have to do exactly what you're told to do, but it's just how it is. So the oracle card that I'm going to read you, it says failure. I understand a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. That's the way it goes. And when you have the ability to understand that, you have to impose on what you're looking for, because it's based on how you're feeling, it's based on how you're going to be knowing what to do, and you have to do exactly what it takes. You have to know about how it's going to be, you have to know that everything seems to be fine and being who you are, but you have to understand about how it is in one way or another, right? That's how it is. So you have to understand that you have to believe about how it's going to be in that way, and you're thinking, all right, everything's feeling fine, but that's how it kind of imposed about this situations, and that's how it kind of goes in that way, right? So you have to understand about what's going on. So let's see what's going on in this one here reading. So this is going to be a very interesting reading indeed. Basically of how it's going to be. You have the Lovers card because you're going to make decisions. You have the Five of Cups that's reversed because you're not having any grief. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, you have no trust. You don't have any trust. The Knight of Swords is upright. It does represent where you have drama in this situation. Two Pentacles are right, or you're balancing two things at once. And the Ten of Swords are right because you have conclusions. So you have all these things. But the way how this is, the way of how everything's going to be, you have to know what it takes and be on about that way, about knowing what to do. So you have to understand about how it is. So I'm going to go from the Knight of Pentacles all the way to the Lovers card, and I'll do a 3-card reading for that. So Four of Swords is upright, Magician reversed, but with the Eight of Pentacles is upright. So basically it means for the Eight of Pentacles, it does represent perfection, like everything seems to be fine. You could be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus in one or another. Magician reverse means you have no skill. I don't know why you have no skill, but that's how it is. The Four of Swords is upright because you're resting, or you're healing, or what's going on that way. So you're trying to figure out why I need to figure this out, why I'm having this, why, this is the way it seems to be. Because there is the way of how this is. You have to know about how it's going to appeal to you, whether you like it or not. But it's based on how you're feeling. It's based on how you're going to be wanted, be needed, be who you are, because that's how it's going to be. This five of Cups here to this Ten of Swords. Let me clarify. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, for the King of Wands is upright, for the Death card reversed, for the Two of Swords is upright. Yeah, because you don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right, and it's basically how it is. The King of Wands represents passion. It could represent Leo, Aries, Sagittarius as another fire signs, as zodiac signs, but you pay attention to it as well. So what's this Two of Swords about? So I'm going to say who's on the left side, who's on the right side. So the Three of Pentacles is upright. Okay, what's on the other side? The Fool is upright. Yeah, because there is basically change. Yeah, so whether if you're feeling excitement, you're feeling excited about something, that's the way it goes, or you're talking about it, And the Fool is upright because there's change. Everything's changing nowadays. That's the way it goes. And when things to be very interesting, you have to know exactly how it's going to play out. You think that, okay, everything's fine, dandy, what have you. I know what to do. It's like, yeah, but you have to know about the basic needs, about how you're feeling in one or another. You have to occur what's right, what's wrong. And when you have your own dignities of your own ways about being efficient, being whoever you are, that's what you seem to be. It's like how it's going to be very conquest about how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be that, because you have to know what it takes on how it is in that way, and thinking, alright, this seems to be fine, I got this. But it's like, how would you do it? How would you understand about how you're feeling in one or another? It's like, this is the way it seems to be. This is why you need to think about what's happening in one or another. It's like, okay, everything seems to be fine. Alright, I got the way it goes. Alright, this is the way it seems to be. And you have to understand about, right? You have to understand about the way of how you can understand in one or another. That's how it seems to be, right? So you have to believe about what's happening in that way. That's how it is. So what's this Knight of Pentacles do? This Two of Pentacles about? The 10 of Wands is upright, so there's burdens. King of Swords is upright, and the Ace of Cups is upright. Yeah, because there's basically, the Ace of Cups represents basically love. That's the way how it is. Prosperity about love, and the King of Swords represents knowledge. That's the way it goes. And the 10 of Wands is upright. There's burdens, right? So there's lots of things going on in this whole entire reading, and when you have to understand what it works and how you can understand, that's how it is, right? You have to know that this is not a backdrop situation, but whether things to be good or bad, you have to know it's like, okay, well, this is going to happen, alright, I know what to do, but then you have to understand that, right? You have to believe about what's happening in one or another. It's like, this is like almost a diagram, but how it's going to be that, how you're going to be focusing on what you're going to do, what you're going to get, what you're going to need. This is the way it seems to be. You're not trying to, fossilize or whatever it is in one or another. You're trying to do what you're told to do because you have to be authentic, be reliable, be who you are, because that's how it is, right? And there's a good saying is, seeing is believing, believing is seeing. That's what you can do. But then you have to understand about how it is in one or another. So let's see what's going on for now. So let me go from the middle to the right, middle to left. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. So the Chariot is upright, for the Eight of Cups is upright, for the Four of Pentacles reversed, for the Sun card is upright. Yeah, because there's positivity here. And when you have the Eight of Cups is upright, it does represent entertainment. That's the way it goes. You want to be entertained. That's the way it goes. If you have progress, you pay attention on whether you like it or not. That's how it's based on that, right? That's how it's going to be. So you could be representing Leo as a fire sign. You could be representing Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio as one or the other. That's how it is, right? What's happening between this Chariot to the left side here? The Hangman is upright. There's restrictions. The Empress reversed. There's no nourishment. Eight Pentacles reversed. There's no perfection. For once is upright where you might be going to a wedding. It might be where you might be focusing on another celebration, whatever it is. Because that's how it is, right? So you have to believe that when things to be in the right moment, you have to do that. If the Hangman is upright, you have restrictions, and you're being restricted, right? So it's like you can't do this, or you want to do this, or whatever it is. It all fits in the same way, right? You have to understand that when you have to learn, you have to understand that, right? It's very gradual of how things be in that way, right? This is the way of how you can do it, and how it is, and it's thinking, alright, well, I know what to do, I got this, but then it's like how you can do it one or another. That's how it is. What's in the middle of this situation? The Strength card is upright, yeah, because you want bravery. You want things to be happening in that direction, right? You have to feel the way of how you're feeling in one another. It's like how it is, right? So when you have to believe that everything seems to be fine, that's how it is. So let me figure out who's on the left side. So the Fool is upright. Okay, what's in the middle? The Hand reverse. Who's on the right side? The Judgment is upright. Yeah, because you're going to take action. Alright, so let's see. Let me clarify. Let me clarify this Fool card on the left side, please. The Hermit reversed, for the Sun card reversed. Yeah, because there's negativity here. because you already have a soulmate. It could be that because you're not in solitude. You're trying to figure out that you can do it. But when you're in negativity, you are drawn into it, right? And when that is imposing that situation, that's how it is. It's like why you need to do that. That's how it is. And when things to be in a perfect setting, when you have negativity, it's drawn into that. Right? It's like you're trying to have a good day, but then you're having a bad day. It's like, what's next, right? You have to know what it takes, because there's a good saying, it's slow and steady wins the race. That's all you can do. But then you have to understand that, right? So you have to focus about what you're going to do in that way. What's happening with this hangman in the middle? The Empress is upright because there's nourishment, and the High Priest is upright, yeah, because it represents, basically represents, inner voice. You're using your inner voice because you need to do that, and when things to be in a different direction, in different solitude, in a different way, you're thinking, alright, this seems to be, I got this, but it's like, yeah, but you need to understand about this is the way of how it's going to occur, and when it occurs, you have to know exactly how it seems to be. So it's like, okay, well, this is how it seems to be. This is not going to be, it ain't happening, whatever it is. But then you have to understand that, alright, I know what to do, alright, I got this. It's like, yeah, but it peels about that understanding, about from that perspective. That's all you can do. But then you have to resist about how you're feeling in one or another. What's happening with this Judgment card on the right side? The Temperance is upright, there's healing, and the Death card is upright because there are endings here. Yeah, so it does represent Scorpio in one or another, because you could be acquainted by Scorpio, because the way how this is. So you're trying to figure out that who's going to be into this situation, and you know who it is, but then you have to understand about how you can understand, right? So it's like you're trying to believe that when you're staying positive, one way you're staying positive. If you're in a negative state, you're in negative situations, right? So it's like you're trying to have all these problems, and when you do, it's like, how would you do that, right? That's why it seems to be that. So let's see what's happening in the left side, the middle, and the right. So on the left side, you have the five of Earth. Fear surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. Yeah, so you can be focusing about where you're fearing that you don't have very much money, or you're thinking that everything is not going your way or going as planned, and you're thinking, well, this is not going to end well, because you're trying to focus about what's happening, right? If there's a cost of living is going up so much, you can't afford it, right? You have to understand about how it seems to be. So if you're in negativity, you're staying in that spot. You're not moving forward. You're going to stay in that position, right? So you can be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as their sign, as their signs. As zodiac signs. What's in the middle? The Queen of Water is tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Yeah, because you have to be how it is. So you're trying to understand how it seems to be. So it's like, okay, everything seems to be fine. I know what to do. But then it's like, how would you understand that, right? You have to be who you are, and you have to understand what's going on in that situation. It's like, okay, I know what to do. I got this. But then it's like, all right, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know what to do. But then it's like, okay, well, this is going to be gradually a situation. That's the way it goes. So you have to trust your intuition. You have to trust your own gut feelings about whether you like it or not. Right, that's how it seems to be. So you could be dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio as water signs, as zodiac signs. What's on the right side? You have the Ace of Water, falling in love, or the resurgence of relationship, spiritual growth, and enhanced intuition, a new home. Yeah, so you'd be focusing on what you're going to get, what you want, but then you have to understand that how would you proceed with caution, how you're going to do it, how you're going to focus about what's happening, right? So you have to understand that when things to be in the right perspective, that's all you can do. You have to be knowing what to do in one another. So you be focusing on another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio as another water signs, as zodiac signs, but you pay attention to that as well, right? So that's how it seems to be. So let's see what's happening for more information I'll redo the Enchanted Map coming out next. But the way how this is, I'm going to see what's going on in this universe, what the universe is saying. So I'm going to go from the middle to the right, middle to the left. So the 10 Pentacles here is there's no wealth here. King of Cups right there is support. 6 of Wands right there is achievement. The Page of Pentacles here is there's no prospects. The 6 of Cups here is there's no past. Queen of Swords here is there's no independence. But the 10 of Swords right there is conclusions. Yeah, because you're not showing your independence. You're not showing about helping other people out. You're not showing about that. It's like why I need to do this. It's like there is a never-ending story here. And when it is that, it's like why it need to be accepted on the way how it is. It's like you need to have this. If you're having conclusions, why you're having all these conclusions when you have no money? You know, that's the way it goes. You have to understand about. You have to pay attention on how it is. If you're not showing your independence, if you're not showing what you want or what you get, that's how it's going to be. It's like why. So you have to understand about how it's going to be in that way. That's how it is, right? You have to show your companionship or how it is. What's in the middle to the right, to the left side? So just the right is you're telling the truth. The 2 of Swords here, you already know which path you're going to take. The 3 of Swords here, there's no heartbreak. The Wheel of Fortune's already going to have good luck on your side, and the Queen of Cups is upright because it represents empathy. There's 2 sides to the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. But you know what it is. You're trying to improve the situation on how it is. It's like how you're going to do it, because this is the way it seems to be. This is not Minute Maid. This is not the way how it goes, right? This is the way of how it goes. You have to understand that. What's in the middle of this situation? The Lovers is upright, yeah, because you want to make decisions. You want to make decisions because it's based on that. It's based on how you can do it in one or another, and you have to know how it is in that way, and you have to know exactly how it is, right? So you have to understand that this is going to be a wise choice to understand what the universe is saying, and the universe is basically correct on how it is, right? So you have to know exactly how it is, and you have to know what it seems to be. So let me try to say what the universe is saying here, and this is how it's going to be. So let's see, number 39, protecting treasure. So let's see what's going on. So it says here, protecting treasure. It says you're always protecting, divinely directed. It says, although this is a time of great risk, know that at a fundamental level you are able to move forward safely and securely. The proverbial nest egg is safe and sound, no matter the fluctuations in the world. Guardian angels and other guides are whispering to you, making you aware of their protective presence. Your loyalty is an important thing now. Nurture that which you hold dear. This is a good time to strengthen bonds of friendship and ensure their integrity. If you feel tested right now, know that a true and loyal heart always achieves its aim. Take refuge under an angel's wing. You are not alone. Have no need to fear. Embrace your courage. So it basically that you're being protected. You're being who you are going to be. Understand that, and that's how it's going to be. So you have to understand what it takes, and you have to know exactly how it is. But this is the way it seems to be. So I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like. Please understand this, but this is the way it seems to be. And I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please leave a comment, and enjoy. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye.